Hello the internet! It is Thursday the 23rd of August 2018. It is a beautiful afternoon here in Culburra Beach. Let's go and have a drink. Now I've found a spot that I have never been to before. You'd think I've explored this whole area, but yesterday I went for a walk and I found this place. It's just a short walk this way. At the end of Fern Way, you take a right on Prince Edward and head towards the soccer fields. Now when you get to Park Row, which is the street you'd take if you were walking to Orient Point, instead of going down that way, and instead of going this way, you can cut diagonally through the soccer fields. We're gonna go directly diagonal, that doesn't make sense. We're gonna go diagonally through the soccer fields. And now across the car park into the soccer field number 2. You might want to pause at this one and do what I did yesterday. See this Mark Ensby goalpost? It's been knocked over, and yesterday I tried to balance myself all the way across it. You might like to do the same thing if you're playing at home and you have a goalpost that's been knocked over. And when you get to the edge of the field, you want to spy the opening in the fencing, like I just have, and protrude right through it. Now enter into the Australian bushland. Now once you get into the bush, there are no real directions, except you go down this path, you chuck a left, you take another left, you go past 2 big trees that are split, you go across the road that separates the other road from the first road, then you take a right, and you're pretty much there. So if you can follow that, and you're coming down here to try to find this place, good luck. If by some miracle you've been able to follow those directions, I don't know how you would have, but if you have, you'll wind up right about here, and this is what I've come for. Check this out. And now I feel I should say that yesterday when I did come down here, it was a bright sunny afternoon. That is west. We're not going to see a sunset. There's way too much cloud cover. Instead, I'll tease you with some photos I took yesterday on my handy, and you can see just how beautiful this area is. And by the way, I need to get this jacket off. It's way too hot. Well, would you look at that? NSD. NSD, this episode is Kingswood. They're an interesting band. I haven't followed anything that they've done since their debut album Microscopic Wars in 2014, and that was when I photographed them. September of that year in Waves, which is in Wollongong, which is yonder, and yonder is Australian for that way somewhere. They had some good tunes, I'm not going to deny they had some good tunes. I just lost a lot of interest. I'm not sure why, it just happened. However, here are some photos of that gig, and if you do like them and you want to purchase them, you can use this coupon code GIVESAMINUTE-KINGSWOOD, and the link in the description of this video will tell you where you can use that. You get 15% off any of the prints from these photos of Kingswood at Waves Wollongong 2014 September Microscopic Wars Tour, Kingswood.
You don't love me.
And now in true Australian fashion, it has gotten cold. It is winter, you can't deny that. I'm putting my hoodie back on. I gotta admit, I'm a tuck. Are you a tuck? Do you tuck your t-shirt into your undies? No, wait. I don't tuck into the undies, but I tuck into the jean. That makes me feel warmer and comfortable. Leave with chair. The Jack Daniels product I have with me to sample right here today is the Jack and Dry. Boy, Benon, that's a tiny can, or your hand is massive. Well, I got news for you. My hand hasn't changed. This is a tiny can. This is what Jack Daniels call American Serve. For those of you playing in America, this is going to be what you guys probably have as a regular serve. Only here in wacky Australia, beautiful Australia, but wacky Australia, is this considered a strong beverage in the sense that this is 10% alcohol by volume. Here in Australia, we have standard drink measures, which I've explained already. If you're not sure what a standard drink measure is, check this video. To fit inside regulatory rules and laws in Australia, this beverage can only be 2 standard drinks. And that means they've got to lower the volume to mix with the alcohol to get the percentage of 10% with 250 mils. These are extremely expensive in Australia. $8.20 a can. What? $8.20 a can? Are you kidding me? That is outrageous. They're so expensive, they're not even on the market anymore. Jack Daniels removed them. They weren't selling very well. If you are looking to find them, good luck. All right, let's crack this sucker and see what 10% Jack Daniels and Dry taste like. First thing that you can really detect when you open this can is that it does smell a lot like Jack Daniels. And that might sound silly because it is, but it actually does. You can really smell it. This is what a mix should be. I don't think this should be a fancy thing. I think this should be the regular. That amount of Jacks is how anyone would pour it at home. In fact, it says on the back here, yada, 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 yada. When it comes to serving this fine whiskey, taste it the American way. A generous pour of Jack and just a splash of mixer. That's American Serve. Now, I know for a fact that's also German Serve. Only in Australia are we forced to have terribly small mixers. I mean, I understand the reasoning. A lot of young kids in Australia get on the booze at a young age and go nuts. I don't know why it's that way. We don't see that kind of problem elsewhere in the world. Now we've got to pay a hell of a lot more to get a regular drink, and they market it as a American Serve. I'm going to stop whinging because it's really tasty. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to savor the moment and just enjoy this American Serve Jack and Dry. It's very tasty. Now, it would be remiss of me to not compare the American Serve Jack and Dry to the regular Jack and Dry, right? That would be remiss. How good is that word, remiss? I haven't used it before. How can I explain how lousy it would be if I came down here and only sampled this? And I thought, what's the word? It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be just. It wouldn't be fair. And then I hit the word remiss. It would be remiss. So this is just about done. That is done now. By the way, I keep all of my empties of these. I believe that these will be collector's items one day, and I've kept all of the Jack reviews that I've done. There's a sneaky bit left. Inadvertently, I've become a Jack Daniels collector. I didn't expect to do this. This was not what the channel was supposed to be about. I've got myself American Serve, and I've got myself a regulation Jack and Dry. Now, for those of you playing outside of the country, Australia, you're going to wonder what a regular drink is here for me. A regular drink here is about 5%. In fact, this one's bang on 5%. 375ml can, that makes 1.5 standard drinks, and they have to label it that way. Now, I've been through all that before. If you want to see my review of the Jack Daniels and Dry mix, check here, because I've gone right into that and I've explained everything. The point of having this one with me today is to directly compare it to its little baby brother, who has a lot more punch. What I want to do is I want to decant these into glasses and just get a visual as well as a taste test. So I want to see what this guy looks like at 10% with some ice, and I want to see what that compares to 5% with some ice. So let's get 2 glasses. By the way, there is a beautiful non-sunset happening. It looks stunning, but it's not a sunset. Bit of a letdown, but you can't predict the weather. So to keep this even, I'm gonna have the American Serve Jack and Dry on the right-hand side, and I'm gonna have the regular Australian lousy version Jack and Dry on the left-hand side. What can we see here? We can see the American Serve is a lot darker in color, and I'm saying darker as the American would say darker. Danny Black has told me that Australians never pronounce the R, and they put R's where there aren't any. So we say Emma, and Emma doesn't have an R in it. E-M-M-A, Emma, Danny's wife's name, doesn't have an R in it, but people call her Emma. We don't use R's where we should, so we say darker. It should be darker. And I'm saying this is darker. And maybe that could be the 10% American Serve kicking in already, possibly. So let's have a look. Look at that. That's a lot darker. Let's do a taste test and then compare. First of all, we'll go regulation. Regulation, Jack and Dry. I mean, look, the dry ginger ale is nice, don't get me wrong, it's a nice taste, but it's not how I would mix my Jack. Now, let's go back to Yeehaw American Serve. See? You've won me. I'm saying it again now, aren't I? This is how a drink should be mixed. That is such a good mix of Jacks. That is a really good mix. Jack and Dry works. We've got the proof right here. You don't need it to be an American Serve. That's just how it should be. Go back for comparison. I'm not going to say this is bad. It's not a bad beverage. Don't get me wrong. This is not bad by any stretch. Enjoy this is the only one you can get now anyway. You can't get that guy. So bad luck, everybody, including me. All right, let's just enjoy the rest of this non-sunset. It's pretty beautiful though, isn't it? Despite no sunset, this place is still pretty rad. I've got Baxter and Claudia, my niece and nephew, coming down this weekend. Maybe we'll come back here and we'll see a sunset. All this talk about Jack Daniels and premixes, there is one product that I haven't been able to source. It's the 1907 and Cola premix. It's a white can. It came onto the market very, very briefly. I asked Jack Daniels Australia and Jack Daniels USA and Brown Forman here in Australia who distribute Jack Daniels, and nobody seems to be able to get a handle on where this product is. It's been removed from the shelves. The only place that has any on hand, on stock right now, is oddly enough, Culburra Beach BWS, right here in Culburra Beach. I'm going there right now to grab some. Oh, that's we're out of time! I know. I should keep a closer eye on the clock. I'm always running out of time on my own vlog. Hey look, if you enjoy what you're seeing here on this channel and you want to support the content by becoming a financial giver, there's plenty of ways to do that in the description field of this video. And if you want to become a giver on any other level, please hit the subscribe button here. Check out a random vlog there and my previous vlog there. If you want to become a Patreon giver, you can do that right here. I'm early this time, aren't I? I'm early. I can't believe it, I've got time. There's time up my sleeve.